What's up, Cereal Bowls? It's your favorite crazy cereal, InsaneAppleJackz. How are you all doing? Because I'm doing super duper chill. Hopefully you guys are doing well as well, because today we're here for another amazing video. In today's video, we're actually on Yugioh Master Duel, not to be confused with Duel Masters. That's a subject for another day. But today we're going to be diving into some Master Duel for a little bit, because we have some packs between starting up the game as well as the recent tournament that was just going on, which happened to be the XYZ festival. We're going to go to the store, which, first off, look at how nice and neat and clean this store is. But I guess that's something we'll get into more when we give a full detail breakdown. But till then, I think it'd be nice and fun to open up 10 packs of Legacy Pack, 10 packs of XYZ Rewards Pack to see if we can get some stuff, because first off, your boy's been kind of struggling and stranded out here with structure decks so far, because I've been trying to be sure that I save things for you guys to see as far as opening packs, playing the solo mode. So yeah, we've just been kind of rocking the structure deck at the moment. Hopefully we get something cool to bump out and do some new cool decks. So let's start out with the Legacy Pack. I don't know if it's going to do all 10 packs at once. Definitely be a crazy experience to see how they handle the package. Let's start out and just go right into it. We're going to bounce out of it. Let's start over real quick and see what this pack actually includes. So we have a bunch of decent options in here for getting starters going. We got Terrace, Keeper of Genesis. We got the likes of Adrius, Keeper of Armageddon. That's a favorite of mine, by the way. We got Optimus Prime in the building, boys, for anybody that was really rocking with those 5K machine beat sticks, specifically Train. We got Decode Talker inside the pack. You know, there's just a bunch of good things to start you out and get some of the older players eased into the likes of things with major cards from the last however since you've last played. We're just going to cut this in beforehand and play like I totally didn't accidentally mess up and not do this first. Yeah. That's a tongue twister mouthful right there. I had to do a retake of this just to be sure I got it right. Spend 10 Legacy Pack tickets to buy Legacy Packs. My tickets. Well, we got 22 and it'll drop us down to 12. Yeah, that's fine. Let's do it. Okay, so it doesn't do them all at once. It actually drops them into a mega series right here. Oh, yo, they kept the lightning animation. Lightning animation being in Duel Links, if I remember right. So this is a 2-card set. This is interesting. First off, we get a Turbo Synchron, and I know that's not the first card that we flipped over, but that's the first card we're going to talk about, because we have this man right here just because of the structure deck we chose. Boy, am I just like, that's a card that I might end up scrapping. But that's the cool thing about this game and its system. It lets you scrap cards and you can turn it into points for cards you want. So Bachi is the secondary card that we got in this pack, and it is an insect with the effect of an XYZ monster that was summoned using this card on the field. As it exceeds material, gains this effect. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage to your opponent. An interesting card to have and possibly mess around with. Let's go for our second one, which has a double lightning strike. So we have Tamasaurus, which is a classic card right here. I remember owning this, and I think this used to be like a structure deck staple for forever and a half ago. Inside like the Pegasus deck, I think this was used in the show a lot. Nobody knows why, but it's a cool card to kind of just have and go, oh yeah, OG Yugi. Darkness Destroyer is a fiend with the effect it can't be special summoned. This card can attack twice during each battle phase. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage to your opponent. It has 2300 attack and 1800 defense. For level 7, it's all right. It doesn't have any real protection on it, so it's not great really considering it's a 2 cost, but the fact that it gets a double attack and piercing, oh, dang. Well, that's a great way to burst into, to hit the super skip right there, but we'll go through real quick, double check the rest of the stuff we got. So we got Imperial Custom. Imperial Custom is a faced up continuous trap card that cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect, except Imperial Custom. You can only control 1 Imperial Custom. We have Text Changer. Once per turn, when your monster is targeted for an attack, you can negate that attack, then special summon 1 Cyberverse normal monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. We have Drill Barnacle. Drill Barnacle's effect is, this card can attack your opponent directly. Each time this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, this card gains 1000 attack. It has a natural attack of 300, so optimally, in most case scenarios, you'll probably get it to 1300 and it die. It's one of those gimmick cards where it's like, oh, that's cool if you could really get it going, but beyond that, it is what it is. The scientist himself, Kazaki. Just because this card's so iconic, I feel like I have to read his text, so let's go for it. A workaholic fiend who devotes everything to his research into the language of Dark World. His mind has collapsed because of working too hard. Quite an iconic card here. He's been featured in countless card arts and all around just a OG card. Space Gift. For all my Neo-Spatian dudes out there, draw 1 card for each different Neo-Spatian name on the monster you control. It's pretty funny to see that. I don't know if I'd necessarily do a Neo-Spatian deck, because it's something where you definitely have to have a vision and balance for. The Cheerful Coffin. Discard up to 3 monsters from your hand to the graveyard. A card that, in the time period it was used in, or like created, didn't seem like the greatest option. But nowadays, where everything's about getting discarded, and that specifically says discarded. Yeah, no. That's a hallelujah of a card for some deck. Electric Whip, a thunder type monster equipped with this card. You know, you increase its attack and defense by 300 points. It's not great, it's not bad. Running electric deck, this might just be the little stab to get you over. You know, even then, it's a 300 point difference. From there, you'd probably be counting more so on extra deck. It still is what it is. It's from the era where every archetype had its own natural equip card that gave it a 300-400 like stat boost. And then on top of that, they all had like their own field spell that did like 300 or 400. So it was more so a matter of who's stabbing who out with the amount of little extra boost that we have, because a lot of it was vanilla gameplay, like Peacock. Then we have Security Orb. When your opponent's monster declares an attack, target that attacking monster, change that target's battle position. If this set card is destroyed by your opponent's spell/trap effect and sent to the graveyard, destroy 1 monster on the field. Because I don't know if you can get both effects off of this at the same time, like if your opponent destroyed it at the same time as a chain during a battle phase, if you could pop both effects, you know, in the situation that it is helpful, it can prolong and save you in a duel for a little bit. Impenetrable Formation. Select 1 monster on your side of the field to activate this card. While you have 2 or more monsters on your side of the field, and all monsters on your side of the field are in defense position, the selected monster gains 700 defense. When the selected monster is removed from the field, destroy this card. Another kind of prolonged defense strat. It is what it is. Nonetheless, we move on to Refusion. Activate this card by paying 800 life points, then target 1 fusion monster in your graveyard. Special summon it and equip it with this card. When this card is destroyed, banish the equipped monster. So this definitely sets up for a lot of fun plays. Really, if you're playing something out like Blue Eyes with the fusions, you're playing something out like Chimera Tech, the Cybers, anything in that realm where you can basically throw out a fusion and then swap into the fusion. This is really fun and vital. Not necessarily like a end all be all. Sometimes that's how you got to get the play started. And then I guess the final thing that we'll look at from this mess up is the Third Sarcophagus, also known as the useless card. This card can only be placed on the field by the effect of the first sarcophagus, but you gotta have all 3 cards just to really even get anything out of this. And I remember when they put this in the show, and it was just like, it had the same field as the Fiend card, but at least the Fiend card ended up doing something in the long run. Like, it had a threat value, whereas third sarcophagus kind of just felt like it didn't have the payoff that it needed to be such a dynamic and built up card. That is this pack for us. Since we messed up on the first set of packs, we're going to burst in and do another 10 set for our legacy packs, and hopefully this time we don't accidentally hit the skip button. So we have 1 golden pack and 9 other packs of possible glory. Let's see what we get in here. We got ourselves a double lightning strike. All right, we got a Karibon as well as a Heyo Cereal Bowlz. You know, there are some old Yu-Gi-Oh cards where I'll just never feel right trying to say the name. It's just like, yeah, lizard dude. Yeah, that's who you got right there. Karibon. Well, it's obviously a Kribo, but let's go through the effect vary with the effect of during the damage calculation. If this card is attacked by your opponent's monster, you can activate this effect. You take no battle damage from the battle. Your opponent gains life points equal to the attacking monster's attack. Also, you return this card to your hand. Ooh. I'm sorry, did we just get a special pull? Utopia just striked us, boys. For half a second, I thought they were going to give us the extra card, and that a vicious crocodile with great intelligence has 1100 attack and 1200 defense. It is a normal, but it shows up as a rare. I love how we get this great animation for this card, by the way. We get Bioplant, a fiend normal monster, a monster created from a major accident in an underground lab. Yes. Kind of cool art. I kind of like his design. He reminds me of a Digimon in some senses, so it's pretty cool. Attack of 600, defense of 1300. Nothing too spectacular to write home about, but it is what it is. Plus, we got to see a cool animation out of that. Oh, yo, we got some Rainbow Dragon support in there. Service into the different dimension. Or no, declare 1 attribute and select a total of 2 monsters with that attribute from the graveyard. Remove those monsters from play. I saw the rainbow there and my brain was like Rainbow Dragon support, and I think that's just because this should have been in the same pack that Rainbow Dragon debuted in. As you can tell, your boy hasn't played much Crystal Beast in his life. I've played it here and there for fun and laughs with friends because, you know, at a certain point it became cheap enough to play. Even then, it's just always been a thing of, all right, let's go. I'm hoping to get a well, I mean, that's a mid-sentence cutoff right there. I was gonna say I'm hoping to get at least an Exceed, so we have an Exceed or like a decent generic synchro, so we have something just to like splash in. But a Cyber Dragon, that's nice right there. You know, it's a Cyber Barrier Dragon, but if you have the right setup, you can still have some fun with this in certain builds. This card can't be normal summon or set. This card can not be special summon except with attack reflector units. That's the sucky part of pulling packs like this, because you do have to pull the card and special card to summon it, or you could craft it yourself later, but you know, it's still an extra step. Continuing on. Once per turn, while this card is in attack position, your opponent's next attack is negated. The Cyber Network itself is all around interesting and has a bunch more support than when it originally came out, so it's not as bad and worthless as trying to put it out when it first premiered. We're at 5 of 10 on the packs, and we're about to open up what might be magic here. Oh, yo, okay, that was not planned. I was just hoping and praying right there. Solemn Wishes. Increase your life points by 500 points each time you draw a card. It's just a nice little addition right there. In our synchro for the pack, we get Psychic Life Tracer. A psychic synchro effect monster that's level 7. It requires 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner monster. Once per turn, You can remove from play one psychic type monster from your grave to gain 1200 life points. Based on the attack of a lot of the psychic type monsters of the era that she came out with, that is basically gain the attack points of the psychic monster itself. Moa Intercepting Cannons. Once per turn, you can flip this card into face down defense position. Funny that these two did come together though, because I think they both came out in like 06, 05. This is Princess Pikaru, which has a sister card, which happens to be a dark type. She's a spellcaster with the effect, this card can't be normal summon or set. This card cannot be special summoned except with Trials of the Princess. During your standby phase, gain 800 life points. On to number 7. We got the Sage Stone. Sage Stone. If you control a face-up Dark Magician girl, I hope to special summon one Dark Magician from your deck or hand. I read that backwards, but it's cool. It doesn't matter. We got it. We got the point. Ebon's Arrow. Select one face-up monster you control. Until the end phase, it loses 500 attack. And during battle phase, between that monster and a defense position monster, whose defense is lower than the selected monster's attack. Inflict a difference as battle damage to your opponent. When the selected monster destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, this turn, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the destroyed monster's original defense. So, it's a very long and overly spoken card, but it gets the job done. It gave you pierce damage as well as burn damage, and you know, it was cool, but it also had a minimum amount of use and was overridden as a card. Here goes our legendary pack, and we have a purple lightning bolt to go with it. I want to learn what all the animations mean for pulling cards here, but we don't have much of a real pullout with this one. We get Kashido Spirit. Monsters on your side of the field can't be destroyed in a battle if the monster's attacks are equal. This was a card that was like great to run inside of the Yu-Gi-Oh games back in the day, because it was just basically slap into the AI, slap into the AI, slap into the AI. What are they going to do? Slap into the AI. Token Festival. When a token is special summoned, destroy as many tokens on the field as possible. And if you do, inflict 300 to your opponent for each token destroyed. Zimbabwe Knight. We got ourselves a Zimbabwe Knight. Look at this boy. It's been a while. You know, for a second I thought he was an X-Saber though, just because the way it flipped over, I was like, oh yo, look, we pulled into an X. Wait a minute, that's not an X-Saber. Zimbabwe Knight. And I know it's Zubaba, but Zimbabwe Knight is a warrior with the effect that at the start of the damage step, if this card attacks a face-up defense position monster, destroy that monster. DD Unicorn Knight. A warrior with the effect of this card can't be normal summoned or set. This card can only be special summoned if your opponent controls a monster and you control a face-up tuner monster. When this card is special summoned this way, you can select one of your removed from play level 3 or lower non-tuner monsters and special summon it. Its effects are negated. You cannot normal summon or set this turn. This card sits in like a weird spot where it's like, it's cool you get your card back, but its effects are negated. You can't normal or special summon this turn. So he might as well had just took up your normal summon, and now he's taken up your special summon. Alright, Metal Silver Armor. Metal Silver Armor, a spell. As long as you control the monster equipped with this card, your opponent cannot use the effect of a spell, trap, or effect monster that targets one monster, except for the equipped monster. Genesis Dragon. Genesis Dragon is a level 6 dragon effect monster. Once per turn, you can send one dragon type monster from your hand to your graveyard, to add one dragon type monster from your graveyard to your hand. When this card is sent, From the field to the graveyard, you can return all dragon type monsters from your graveyard to your deck. Your uses might vary, but it has a decent viability, really is a level 6. So just to scroll through once again, this is our pack set right here. I think we got some really cool cards here. I don't think it's anything that I can necessarily use right away at the moment, but I am really happy about the stuff we got. I think probably the best thing out of this is the Psychic Life Tracer. So now we're going to do Exceed Rewards. Get these cards with the tickets you earned from the tournament. Once again, these tickets coming from the XYZ Festival tournament that passed recently. Our featured cards in this are Tiras, Keeper of Genesis. We got Adrius, Keeper of Armageddon. We got Proton Strike, Bouncer, a classic. I've seen this card way too many times. We have Archfiend Ascent, just to name a few. There's some other cool things inside of here, but what I'm really hoping for is to get Adrius, Keeper of Armageddon, or even possibly the Archfiend's Ascent. But we got 10 packs, we're going to dive into it, and hopefully we get something good. I should have played my cards a little bit better inside the tournament, but I didn't have as much time to play in it. Though, it looks like we have something going on here. We got 1 rainbow and 3 golds, so fingers crossed for me, boys. In our first pack, we get a Mud Hunter. Once per turn, you can normal summon 1 level 4 light thunder type monster from your hand except Mud Hunter as an additional normal summon. This is a deck that I was we got 2 Mud Hunters, by the way, for a setup that needs a second card that isn't her. This is a deck that I was really interested in running for a while, but I don't know. I just guess like it doesn't have enough support for me to really have invested into it, because it's like a 4-card archetype, but Konami loves to do that. They'll drop a 4 or 5 card archetype, and then you're supposed to staple it together and make popularity out of it, and then wait a few years for them to actually drop some support for it. We have Paw Hunter, a thunder effect monster, 1300 attack, 600 defense. Once per turn, you can normal summon 1 level 4 light thunder type monster from your hand except for Paw Hunter as an additional summon. It kind of has like the same effect that like King's Knight and Queen's Knight with the Jack's Knight setup has going on. It's a little bit faster than that and not as dependent, but it kind of reminded me of that, and I guess that's why I originally wanted to run it. I was like, oh yo, that'd be cool. Harmonic Waves. Target 1 face-up monster on a field. It becomes level 4 until the end phase. This is one of those cards where I wish it was a quick play spell, because this would be a nice shutdown right here. It's pretty cool in standard level modulation. On to pack 3. What another Utopia, baby. We definitely, oh yo, we going golden in here. We got some crazy aura on that. Another Paw Hunter for my Hunter boys, but let's see what's behind this door. Yo! We got our boy, the Keeper of Armageddon. Adrius, Keeper of Armageddon, a rank 5 Fiend Exceed monster. Takes 2 level 5 monsters. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Exceed material from this card to target 1 faced-up card your opponent controls. Destroy it. And I know we're in a realm where targeting isn't as great as it used to be, but man, this card has a special place in my heart from when I was super tournament active. It's definitely a nice thing to have in the collection now. I wonder if that was actually our rainbow card pack or if that was just a bonus out. Nonetheless, we got some Purple Thunder here. Overlay Eater, a 300 attack, 800 defense reptile effect monster. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Take 1 Exceed monster from a monster your opponent controls and attach it to an Exceed monster you control. You know, it's cool. It just locks itself out at the fact that you have to have an Exceed monster. We get Grinosaurus, a rank 3, 2000 attack, 1900 defense, dinosaur Exceed effect monster. He requires 2 level 3 monsters. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can detach 1 Exceed material from this card and inflict 1,000 points of damage to your opponent. A nice staple rank 3. Pack number 5. We're gonna start over here. We get Mimic, a 300 attack, 300 defense, machine effect monster. If your opponent controls a monster and you control a level 3 monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Mimic once per turn this way. Ooh, we got a bonus surprise with some specialty right there on it. We get a number 59, Crooked Cook, a 2,300 attack with 200 defense, Warrior Exceed monster. It requires 2 level 4 monsters. While you control no other cards on the field, this card is unaffected by other card effects. Once per turn, quick effect, you can detach 1 material from this card, destroy as many other cards you control as possible. Then, this card gains 300 attack until the end of the turn for each monster destroyed by this effect and sent to the graveyard. It's interesting in its own right. Pack number 6. We get Space Cyclone. Detach 1 Exceed material from a monster. Going back to the point I was making earlier, but this is a quick effect spell. It has priority. You can't use it as a secondary material type effect, so you don't get a bonus on top of a bonus, but it's a different use case scenario. Resonance Device. A normal spell that targets 2 face-up monsters you control with the same type and attribute. Change one of their levels to the current level of the other until the end phase. At my current state, that's kind of useful. Pack number 7. Another Mahunder. That girl looks so cute, by the way. Good art. Good card. And a Pawhunder. A Mahunder and a Pawhunder in the same pack. That's pretty dope. Utopia bursting through for your boy once again. On pack number 8, Harmonic Waves shows up for us once again, and we get a flip into a Mind Crush. Mind Crush, a normal trap. Declare 1 card name. If that card is in your opponent's hand, they must discard all copies of it. Otherwise, you discard 1 random card. An old school staple and really a major shutdown. It's interesting to have pulled it. Purple Lightning, bless me, baby. Oh, Purple Lightning has blessed me, baby. So we get another Overlay Eater, and this one's actually a rare variant despite being a normal. And let's see what's behind door number 2. Yo! Archfiend's Ascent. I got both cards that I was wishing for inside the same pack. That's so crazy. Well, not the same pack, but the same pool set. So I guess I didn't have to do as much grinding on the tournament as I thought I would have to, but yo, that's pretty cool. It's a rank 6 Fiend Exceed monster. It takes 2 level 6 monsters. This card's name becomes Summon Skull on the field, but is still treated as an Archfiend card. If Summon Skulls you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you could detach 1 material from this card instead. If this Exceed card you control is sent to your graveyard by an opponent's card, you can special summon 1 Summon Skull from your hand, deck, or graveyard. All around, a nice card. Really, with the revamp of Archfiends that they had, I wanted to say a few years ago, but this is more than a few years ago at this point, but this is the type of stuff that made Archfiends really viable. Oh, yo, they saved our rainbow pack for last. I was not expecting that. I thought we already got it. So we got a Utopia and we gold into a purple. I think gold is better than purple in this situation, even though the purple kind of looks like the ghost rare. So I'm gonna flip this. And we got another Adrius, Keeper of Armageddon. So that's very dope right there, a double copy, and we don't have to build out or exchange in order to get a secondary. But let's see what's behind door number 2. Yo, we get a second Crooked Cook, and this is, I think, a higher rarity of him. So that's a nice bonus. Going through our spoils, and it's not a higher rarity of him, but going through our spoils, I think we got a pretty nice pull set here. We got a full set of Pawhunders and Mahunders, 2 Adriuses, which we were looking for 1. The fact that we got blessed like that, that's crazy. And then we got Archfiend's Ascent. All around, we got some nice generic X seeds to start ourselves out, and a little bit of extra stuff to possibly have fun with later. With that said, though, that's the packs I have for now, and I think that's a good place to end this one, so I'll catch you guys at the end of the box. And we are back at the end of the box after finishing another super duper amazing video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's Yugioh Master Duel pack openings. I appreciate you all for checking it out in the first place, and if you did enjoy it, be sure to give this video a thumbs up as well as sharing it around to other people that you think might enjoy this video. Additionally, if you'd like to comment on the video itself, whether you'd like to say hi, tell me how you're doing, tell me about the pack openings I did, or just your pack openings and how you're doing in the game, feel free to leave that down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you're not already subscribed to the Cereal Bowl Nation, get subscribed, become a part of the greatest nation on the internet. If you ain't know it, now you know it. Are you looking for more content in the meantime till the next video I do, whether it's Yu-Gi-Oh or anything else? Be sure to check out the channel itself, but also I have a mega link down inside the description so you can check out all my other social medias and see what I'm up to until then. But with all that being said, I'll catch you dudes later. Munch, 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 peace out, and that is a wrap.